Security and education join forces like never before to form Secure Ed. Tonight's episode, acceptable use of computer systems.
Larry, boss wants to see you in his office. Now.
Congrats. I hear you're number 2 in your fantasy football league. And I hear you have 83 Facebook friends. And a little birdie told me you're up $17 in your online poker tournament. Well, knock it off. Because of you, we've been forced to restrict internet access for all employees. Now get back to work. And by the way, you're really abusing casual Friday dress code. Don't ruin that for everyone, too.
Hi, I'm Bob, and welcome to Secure Ed training for acceptable use of computer systems. Organizations today provide us with all kinds of computers, network access, and software solutions to help make us more productive, efficient, and successful. Long gone are the days when they just give you a pencil and notepad and tell you to go get 'em. Yes, these tools make our lives easier, but they can also introduce security concerns. That is why most organizations provide policies for acceptable use practices to help protect you and your firm. Today we're going to cover acceptable use practices in the following areas: internet browsing, email usage, software installation, and removable media. First, let's talk about internet browsing. Most organizations restrict employees from visiting websites with explicit language and images, or those espousing hate or violence. Gambling and online trading sites typically also fall outside most internet usage policies as well. After all, we're here to work, aren't we? But some companies choose to restrict access to streaming video and music sites, not just for security reasons, but also to conserve network bandwidth for more relevant business use. And while most companies implement web-restricting tools to govern this, it may just be managed through their acceptable use policy. That's why you need to make sure you know and understand your organization's policy and follow it. These policies are designed to protect employees as well as the organization, and not meant to punish you for accidentally clicking on a link or fat-fingering a URL. When something like that happens, shut down those windows immediately, and you should be okay. That being said, you need to be aware that your organization has the legal right to log your network traffic and check on the history of sites you visit. Although many organizations allow incidental or casual personal use of their computing systems, your safest bet is to keep your internet use at work strictly business-related and utilize your home computer for personal use. Acceptable use policies not only cover your use of the World Wide Web, but also your email correspondence. Your organization has the legal right to monitor your email just like your web browsing. And this is not necessarily limited to your business email. If you are using your work computer to access personal email, this traffic can be monitored as well. In the past, some employees have been fired or caused lawsuits involving their employer because of email they sent or forwarded. You don't want to be that employee, the one that everyone in the lunchroom talks about. Much like your internet use, your best course of action is to only utilize your work computer for business-related email. And it's probably a good idea not to forward on that chain email to 7 friends in order to avoid bad luck. Next up is software installation. When we receive our work computers, they are typically preloaded with all the software the company thinks we need to perform our job and updated as necessary. These software programs are usually well vetted out and are pre-screened and certified acceptable by your IT resources. But as comprehensive as they may be, there is always new software in the market that promises more features and functionality. It can be very tempting to download these programs straight from the internet, especially if they are free. Unfortunately, some of these software packages contain malware that could range from being a nuisance, such as pop-up advertisements on your screen, to causing a serious security issue at your organization by allowing hackers a path to your internal network. You need to be cautious about what software you are bringing into the workplace. Before installing any software, you should contact your manager for approval and assistance. Ideally, your system security policy should prevent normal, everyday users from installing software in business systems. No matter what your system security policy and controls are, ultimately, your IT resources should have the opportunity to ensure the software is approved, free of malware, and does not violate your organization's acceptable use policy. That brings us to our final topic, removable media. USB drives, DVDs, and CDs are typical means by which outside software is installed on corporate machines. But they are also a common way that malware is introduced to corporate networks. Another tactic for hackers is to place malware on removable media and label it with an enticing name such as corporate payroll, and then place it in an area where employees congregate. The hacker hopes that someone will be intrigued by the title and plug it into their computer. When that happens, the media infects the system with a virus or backdoor that causes a serious security issue. Other enticing names to look out for are executive bonuses or Bob's Vacation to Cucamonga. You should never insert removable media from an unknown source into your work computer. You have no idea what is on it. Even media that comes from a known source should be scanned for malware prior to opening files. If you find removable media in your work area, you should give it to your manager or your IT or security department for inspection, whichever is appropriate. You should also be cognizant that removable media is an easy way for a malicious internal user to extract sensitive information. There have been many instances in the news where sensitive data, such as health records, personal identity information, and even national secrets were stolen using removable media. Many organizations have implemented controls to prevent the use of this media. That wraps us up for today. You have just a few things you need to remember. Make sure you know and understand your organization's acceptable use policy, and ensure you do not visit websites that violate that policy. Use your work email for valid business reasons, and save your personal email for your personal computing devices. Check with your manager or IT staff before installing any new software, and never install removable media from an unknown source into your work computer. Thanks for tuning in. Now let's see what's happening back at the office.
One more thing. Thanks to you, we're cutting off access to all the nature websites. Way to go, Larry.